Letters to the editor. Loyal supporter was part of BVA family. It is with deep sadness that the Louisiana-Mississippi Regional Group announces the loss of one of its friends and advocates. On January 30, Helen Russell passed away. What makes her so special to some of us is not the fact that she was a blinded veteran. She was not, in fact, a blinded veteran, but her husband, Oscar, was. I never had the honor of meeting Oscar, and I'm not sure how many BVA members remember him since he passed away before I lost my vision. I did have the honor of meeting with and enjoying Helen's company. She was a blast, always assisting BVA and blinded veterans with a strong desire to serve. What really made her special is that she could have dropped all connections with BVA when she lost Oscar, but she chose to stay involved as much as her health would allow. She had a kind heart and was always willing to listen and share a story of either her own or her beloved Oscar. My point is to remind us that a life member's surviving spouse is a part of our family and we should encourage their involvement in what we do. These spouses are not just Uber drivers or caregivers, but part of the BVA family. Without support and help from them, can we honestly say we would be where we are now? Please remember that they too need our support as much as we need theirs. You are missed, Helen, but you are now once again dancing with Oscar. Tracy Farrow, Biloxi, Mississippi, Louisiana-Mississippi Regional Group. Bruce Davis. He made a difference. One of the early hires of the VIST program was Bruce Davis, a friend to blinded veterans who was always supportive of BVA. Bruce has decided to retire after working with blinded veterans at the Gainesville VA Medical Center for 38 years. Bruce's veteran clients and many others will miss this exceptional servant leader. Bruce's clients describe his service as above and beyond the call of duty. The Gainesville-Ocala area in Bruce's charge included the villages. Bruce did his work with calm and poise, never seeming to get flustered. Once Bruce determined a goal, results were certain to follow. Bruce pioneered techniques for assisting blinded veterans. The effectiveness of his practices was recognized, and Bruce trained other VIST coordinators to develop their skills and serve their clients. In the early days of the VIST program, these especially trained social workers became effective and efficient in helping blinded veterans, mostly through trial and error. One of the things discovered to work well was the setting up of multiple appointments in one day by the VIST coordinator. Having 5 or more appointments during a single visit to the medical center greatly helped blinded veterans by reducing their travel. The Florida Regional Group has traditionally held annual meetings in a number of towns across Florida. The Ocala meeting, that was organized primarily by Bruce, always had the best attendance. Additionally, Bruce located funding for an annual offshore fishing trip. These 2 activities and many more that were arranged were not required, but to us were bonus activities that were much appreciated. Bruce was recognized as one of the very best at matching available benefits with the needs of his clients. He leaves behind many blinded veterans with whom he worked directly and others that benefited from his example. There are scores of blinded veterans in Florida and beyond who are grateful for his lengthy and excellent service. Mike Taylor, Fleming Isle, Florida, Florida Regional Group. Regional Group Leader addresses membership issue. Many of us are aware of the membership situation currently occurring at BVA. Due to a situation in the past, BVA has 3 categories of membership. I have no first-hand information regarding how this came about, but I do know that sometime in the past, when member fees were staggered according to age, you could apply for membership and pay annual dues, amount unknown, until the applicant paid the amount required for life membership. Unfortunately, from what I can deduce, no one ever followed up on these applicants to ensure that they paid as required. The staggered fee schedule was changed in 2016. As a result, no further fees were collected. In addition, many veterans were recruited and were not asked to pay dues. John Woodcock, our regional group president, and I can attest to this. I was told that I did not need to pay any dues. I could just be an inactive member. So this is how we have members who paid full dues, members who paid partial dues, and members who paid no dues at all. Sometime in the past year or so, the group member lists were changed to a spreadsheet format. All groups received 3 member lists and 3 sets of mailing labels matching the 3 categories. I inquired as to why the partial pay members were now called lapsed and the inactive members were now listed as non-members. I began to protest, asking why the 3 categories. I gleaned little information here and there, and, as I understand it, this is what happened. No one at BVA National Headquarters or within the regional group reminded inactive members or partial dues-paying members that they owed a payment or payments. Moreover, applications for membership were received by our headquarters without payment of any dues. For some reason, these applications were processed and applicants were listed as inactive. The problem rests not with these applicants, but with a policy or lack thereof. Frankly, this is the only organization I know of that does not insist on dues up front. I am truly not blaming anyone, and am simply trying to help the organization come up with a solution. My proposed solution is based on the premise that, just as a landlord could likely not collect rent that had been due for several months or years, the same is true for the dues of these inactive and partial paying members. My proposed solution is also on the loss of so many of our World War II and Korean War veterans. World War II veterans were given free honorary membership at some point. So why not, now, award active membership to the veterans who paid some or none? At $25 for dues today, the chances of getting these veterans to pay now, after all their years as members, are slim. I feel that we would realize more benefit by letting them stay as permanent members than by trying to collect their money and then dropping them if they didn't pay or couldn't pay. Speaking for our group, we have a good number of lapsed members and non-members who participate regularly in our activities. How would you feel if someone suddenly called you a non-member? If you referred to me that way, after my years of supposed membership, I guarantee that you would never get $25 from me. I understand that this matter will be taken up at this year's convention. If you feel as I do, I ask you to contact your officers, your district director, and national officers to make your feelings known. This matter could be resolved in short order. All that is needed is our determination that it be done. Charles Nemeth, Albuquerque, New Mexico Regional Group. National Headquarters Response. On behalf of BVA National HQ, I would like to take this opportunity to thank New Mexico Regional Group Secretary-Treasurer Chuck Nemeth for his continued leadership and ongoing support of our organization. Chuck has worked tirelessly to improve the operations of his regional group, as have our national staff. There were a multitude of challenges facing our team regarding the membership data, but working alongside one another, national officers, district directors, regional groups, and chapters, we've completed the necessary data migration to the new membership system and continue to fine-tune each individual member record. This has been a long overdue process, but as anyone who has undertaken such a challenge can attest, it is well worth the effort. These data processes will enable the organization to make informed leadership decisions, as well as equip the membership with the critically important information required to intelligently deliberate forthcoming bylaw amendment considerations. While the project is not fully complete at the writing of this issue of the Bulletin, we are well within our projected timelines for completion. The final phase of the project will require team effort, so please be prepared to work alongside your various leadership teams to assist and support the headquarters staff as needed. Together, we will continue to improve our organizational operations while epitomizing our motto of Blinded Veterans Helping Blinded Veterans. Donald Overton, BVA Executive Director. NY member commends endurance, New Horizons. I write to you, comrades, as this Blinded Veterans Association has now been in existence for nearly 76 years. We are on the way to new horizons. We are soldiers who understand what it is to have daily challenges that we overcome with our power of mind. We don't have the sight we once had, but we forever do have our vision. I would like us to continue to stand together and represent unity. Representing the red, white, and blue as a united force of one in purpose. We need each other as veterans helping veterans, to achieve our goals and to achieve the ultimate dream of making this precious land the greatest it can ever be. With our freedoms rooted in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution, which are also the lifeline of our bylaws, we shall live in freedom forever. Our life members in the regional groups themselves, the national board, and the staff have worked together over a long period of time to make this organization the best it can be and to set the direction of our movement forward at this time. The Executive Director, Mr. Overton, has navigated the course. The National President, Dr. Zamperi, the Vice President, Mr. McNeil, and the Director of Public Relations, Mr. Nelson, are knowledgeable, enlightened, and keep the membership abreast and well informed of all pertinent information. We thank our directors and executives for their due diligence. Whatever branch of service, whether male or female, we are all in this together. Let us keep this organization tight at the seams with pride in the organization's trustworthiness, integrity, and tenacity. We have accomplished many goals spanning the 76 years. Let's keep up the good work and continue to believe in this number one organization, the Blinded Veterans Association. Warner Murray, New York, New York, New York Regional Group.